The vision for teaching and learning in Celbridge Community School is about an actioning of the vision, aim and ethos of the school, which places students at the very centre of learning. The way we go about putting that into place is we have a learning to learn model in the school, which very much focuses on students developing key skills that they are going to need to meet the needs of a constantly changing and evolving world.
Technology has really enhanced the way we approach learning and teaching. It's not that it's replaced how we've always approached the traditional way we learn and teach, but it's really added extra tools to the suite or to the palette of resources we have available to us as we plan and as we teach the students in front of us. Student use of iPad has really developed over recent years also in terms of the way they can use it to take ownership of their learning, to really take responsibility, to plan their learning, to reflect on their learning, to organise their own notes and materials, their assignments, their assessments, and that means that they are much more prepared and much more aware of the demands of whatever assessments or examinations will be coming up.
Teachers are constantly looking to try and coach students and develop that sense of inquiry-based learning, and teachers essentially act as a guide from the side as opposed to a sage on the stage. So a one-to-one device program really benefits and supports student learning in the first instance by being a really important item in a student's toolkit when they come into school every day. It's essentially part of the ecosystem of the school.
Collaboration is such a huge part of our teaching and learning model in the school, and indeed all learning experiences. So things like shared pages, documents that students can be planning out their experiments, popping in, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, writing out the things that they need, the things that they require. It's really, really important. In science, we would have students engaging with experiments all of the time, and they are so creative with how they can use their iPad as a tool to measure things, to count things. We had students using the slow-mo functionality to determine the bounce on different bouncy balls. So really, really, really creative. And then I suppose for me as a teacher, one of the biggest benefits of having the iPad in the class is just that access to real-time data on their understanding. So in a really engaging way, within seconds, I can paint a picture of where each student is at in their learning. And once I understand that, then I can, cater the learning experience and their home learning, their classwork to that student.
One of the benefits from having an iPad is I get so much more feedback from my teachers, and the learning just continues outside of the classroom. It's not just in school hours. One of my favourite apps to use is Pages because it's really versatile and it caters to what I want to do as well. It's not just the teachers assign it to me. I make my own plans in it, I do my own things on it. I add lots of media as well, like I'll always add photos and maybe even drawings. And it really helps my learning.
Leaving Cert P would not be possible without the iPad. It's portable, so all of it is on one device. So there's so many opportunities that Apple technology allows us to do in P in terms of video analysis. They self-assess themselves, they peer assess each other within a teamwork environment. So in terms of critical thinking, I suppose, they're analysing themselves and others. It also allows them to problem solve between different activities and independent research between all the content that's online and compare, I suppose, critically what they're doing wrong and how they can improve.
In French, it gives a great opportunity for students to develop their language skills. Because it's a multimodal tool, they can use the listening. We can listen to music, we can listen to an interview, they can read an article, they can write, or they can also speak and record. So that's developing all the language skills for French students. So using apps such as GarageBand, iMovie, Keynote, Pages, it's great to promote creativity of a student. For example, the student can create a motion movie with iMovie. They can add some subtitle in French, or they can also add a voiceover in French. It gives an equal opportunity for students to express their creativity.
iPad is really useful for collaborating with friends. Well, particularly in this school, we actually do a lot of group work. Many a time that means we have to get together, work on our projects, but now we actually use Keynote and there's a collaborative feature on Keynote. And that means that regardless of where we are or what we're doing, we can always pitch in and work on the Keynote by ourselves, and then everyone else is also working on them at the same time.
We chose Select as our technology partner because of the excellent professional service that's provided from the outset. What we also really value with our partnership with Select is the professional support that's available for teachers.
As an Apple authorised education specialist, Select provide the complete solution for schools. So it's everything from initial planning to setup, ongoing management and support, and training for teachers. And training is what we really put at the forefront of all of our conversations with schools. We provided Select Academy for every single teacher to give them that foundation of digital skills. And then in relation to the physical delivery of professional learning, we deliver that in a whole range of formats. So it's not just your traditional workshop style sessions. We also deliver coaching and mentoring. We work with small groups. We even also work with students to help develop sort of digital ambassadors amongst the student body.
There's so many benefits for Apple Professional Learning in Select Academy. First, with Select Academy, it allows teachers to engage with the material that they need to engage in for their own practice, be it on getting to know their iPad, getting to know their Mac. They only need to engage with the stuff they actually need to improve their teaching. And then with respect to the Apple Professional Learning, I engaged with a session recently on mind mapping, which was brilliant. It's very focused on the classroom. And following on from that session, we had a department meeting. I would have shared examples of how we learn to use that, how I've been using it in classroom, and then it was great to see the teachers were then adopting those methodologies, using that in the classroom.
So we can't underestimate the importance of investment in meaningful professional learning for teachers. Ultimately, how well technology is used, how often technology is used, and how effectively it's used for teaching and learning is driven by teachers.
We continue to innovate to advance teaching and learning by always ensuring that we go back to our core principles in school. And that is really about ensuring that we take the technology as a tool that advances teaching and learning forward. And in that regard, that they have really powerful, effective learning moments while they're in school with us here each day.